Hello right bags, it's Jade. Welcome to an Immortals Fenyx Rising guide. Today I'm going to be taking on Athena's Hydra, pretty much part of the story content in one, maybe the third or fourth region, depending on what way you went. You will be tasked with defeating a huge Hydra and obviously going through one of the vaults. So first of all, you need to get to Athena. You'll find her on the Grove of Kleos, right in the northwest. Turns out Typhoon, the big bad, has shrunk her down into a tiny little girl, and she wants you to go and kill the Hydra to restore her back. You'll find her just here. Obviously it's pretty close by, and there is the dungeon location where we're going to be going. You'll find the entranceway at the bottom of a cliff, and you can clearly see all the statues of the Hydra, so you can't really miss it. There's a archery challenge which I'm going to take you through as well once we've completed the dungeon, but here is the entranceway. Now this is a level 3 and it's called the Serpentine monster, but I'm pretty sure it's called the Hydra as well. It is going to be pretty tough and challenging. I wouldn't recommend coming in here unless you've got a lot more stamina than I was pretty much under leveled. Also make sure you got a full amount of health potions. You can see I've only got actual fruit here and not one single potion. This was a mistake. When you first get in, you seem it's going to be okay. Oh, what, it's just one snake head? Yeah, I can deal with this. Oh look, it's taking damage easily. In fact, it's pretty easy to take down one of them. They haven't got the most amount of health. I've upgraded my bow quite a bit, so I've got at least 12 shots, and I've got some armour that regenerates it quicker. Although, funnily, I'm not wearing that armour right now. It does spawn these two enemies. The big one does do a fair amount of damage, but if you get him close to the edge, you can often knock him out. If you do manage to take down the snakehead, as you saw there, it gets rid of the two mini enemies. Okay, so things are hotting up now. We've got two creatures. Alright, I can still handle this. Obviously, one's going to spit the acid. Don't be in that. Obviously, it's going to cause you a lot of damage. It does seem to do damage to the small one, or at least stops them from going through it, so it has to go round. A top tip is to try and get close to one of these snakes, and you can actually stun it quite a bit. If you use nothing but stun attacks on it, you've got a chance to lock it in a loop. We'll get to that in a second, but let's try and take out another one of these little dudes and then see if we can whittle away the health of these two. Obviously your Phoenix is going to be really important. I've got him and he does extra orbs of stamina that drop. You can see them waiting there. It's definitely worth picking them up so you can get even more stamina quickly. You are going to have to obviously go pretty close to use your Phoenix and obviously to do some melee shots. At this point I decided to switch it up and go for my archery wear, and that will help me a lot better. You can see it recharges my bow shots 22% extra. I've also got the axe that does triple combat damage when you're in the air, so I thought that would be a good one too. So yeah, it does get a bit challenging. Focus on one of these at a time, try not to shoot both of them and you should be okay. The minions, as I said, they're pretty tough. The big one is going to do that damage, but as long as you've got something where you can do a lot of stun, you can pretty much take him out quickly, easily, the small one, and then you just got to avoid projectiles from the other one. So yeah, it can be a bit challenging when you've got the acid being thrown at you, you've got projectiles from him. But again, with two of them, it weren't the world's worst. I maybe needed to try and get some more stun done on him a bit quicker. You can see I've knocked him out there, and that gives me an opportunity to just whip them away. But as I said, get him close to the edge, and you can knock him off a lot of the time too. And with him pretty much now taken care of, we can now focus again back on him. So I didn't do what I said. I was focusing on the wrong one. Should have took out the one on the right, as that was the one at the least health. But you can see I'm doing a fair amount of damage, 83 damage per hit. And like I said, you can get a bit closer. They will lunge and try and eat you at one point if you're too close, but that's when they'll also be stunned. They do like a wave damage as well when they do that, and this big red ring will just go forward. It does do a hell of a lot of damage to you. So you can see I've got 5 chunks there. I recommend at least having 6 or 7 if you want this fight to be a bit easier. But I took him out, and as it shows, got rid of 2 of the enemies, the minions again. Things getting serious now. We've got 4. Didn't even go to 3. We just went straight to 4. Yeah, it's a real challenge now. You really need to be able to move quickly, have lots of stamina, and you're dodging almost constantly while you're trying to ping off shots and taking down one of these. This is when I started using my Phoenix a lot more. I started getting a bit closer in a second. Obviously, we've still got to take these guys out. Stun on the big one is absolutely essential, so make sure you've got either a weapon or ability that you can use lots to get stun out there. And you can see the big charging one there. The purple drop, that was the one that does damage. But this is what I was talking about. You can pretty much knock them off and it takes away. It doesn't respawn either, like sometimes it does that in the rest of the world. So keep focusing on just one at a time, and there's the big purple. I'm sure it's pretty red sometimes as well. You see it did quite an amount of damage there, so you've got to be able to jump over it. But his health is pretty low, so a couple more shots and he is brown bread. Here I'm going to show a little bit more how you can almost sort of cheese them. When they're in that stun lock, that's when you need to keep hitting them with the R2, RT button. And if you've got enough stun, it will just keep repeatedly stunning them so that they'll keep landing back on that platform and you can keep taking them out. So any weapons or armor that are going to give you some more stun ability, maybe with the bow and arrow if you've got something like that as well. And now you can just keep cheesing him, just keep hitting him and you'll keep stunning him and he'll keep falling and you can keep doing it and just getting some more whacks in. That happened for me anyway with the armor and the weapon that I was using. And pretty much one more hit and he is brown bread, done. Obviously I sped it up a little bit there, I don't want to bore you with the whole fight, but yeah, just make sure you're dodging, moving around. If you need to generate some health, you might have some armor that generates health when you stun an enemy, so you can take on the smaller ones for that as well, or just keep trying to do that stun lock. A quick hop over the air vents and we can go and get our reward. So you can get 2 Charon coins in the chest on the left hand side, so that's pretty handy too. And then you're obviously going to go and get Zeus's lightning. But wait, don't get the lightning just yet. If you quickly saw, there was a chest hiding behind it. This I did on stream and we ended up having to do it again because it didn't get me the chance to go through the vault defeating the enemy. I had to go and defeat the enemy once more and it was pretty annoying. Whenever you pick up the lightning, you're instantly booted out of the dungeon. You can always tell you've missed something, FYI, because the dungeon marker will be orange rather than red or completely like greyed out. So make sure you go back in and get that chest before you leave. I'm not going to mislead you, this took me a good while because I didn't have any health. As you can see, I've got literally no potions, no health. It was a real slog having to get some health from stunning some of the smaller ones. So it did probably take me a lot longer than it should have done. So make sure you've got plenty of potions when you come in here. And of course this time do not go into the portal to escape. Instead we're going to do a bit of archery. Again, you're going to need a fair amount of shots. I think there's like what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots. So you're going to need the upgrade for at least 8 of them to fire off pretty quickly and just take care of all of these targets. If you really want this armor piece, it might not even be worth it. If you do forget or you're just not bothered about maybe getting it, then go and do some other stuff. But obviously this is part of the story, so you have to do this dungeon and defeat that boss if you want to progress through all of the story. You'll get a helmet which is piercing wisdom unless you manage to find it elsewhere, as I'm sure you probably have. Don't forget, obviously with this gear as well, you'll often find the skins or it will give you that piece first. So if you've already found it, you'll just get another skin for it. The reason I wasn't too impressed with this is because it does extra damage with Athena's dash, which is something I've not unlocked. And for some reason, UbiConnect thinks I've been using that all the time when I check my stats. And I've not unlocked it, I've not used it once. So yeah, it probably will be useful when I start using that skill a little bit more. But for now, I really just don't have much use for it. Before you leave, obviously they've got the challenge with the archery as well. You could probably do the directional one, the ability or skill, so you can slow down the arrows as you're firing them. But you can do it without, because I haven't got that skill and I just about managed to do it. Here's the platform, obviously you've got to stand on and then you've got to fire off your bow and direct it. Try and aim to the top right so you've got a better trajectory after you go through this first one. So you can see there I'm going right a bit quite higher, so I've got a bit of a straight one. There's 3 hoops there to go through. Don't miss one of them. I thought the game was bugged out, but apparently I had missed one. And there's another 3 hoops there as well. So you obviously got to get through all of them before you light the brazier at the very, very end. What do you get for your troubles? Well, obviously you get some more Charon coins, and so obviously that's really good for upgrading even more of your skills, even if it is only a measly little 2. There are some air vents to help you get up a little bit, although they don't take you all the way to the top. So yeah, either just fast travel or climb all the way up. Back at Athena, and she's going to give you a blessing, and I quite like this blessing as well, Athena's guidance. So obviously you can go and do the other missions that she's got to get more of the perks, but if you want to just carry on with the story, you can just move to the next area of the map and take part in it. Again though, be a little bit concerned that you may be a bit underpowered. This one's perfect for me, her skill or a perk that she gives you, because it gives extra refill time for your arrows. So I've been using my bow and arrows quite a lot, I've been upgrading it, so then this is definitely the best one for me. The other 2 perks might be worth it as well. Athena's Draw means that your shots can be charged even further, so you do more damage, up to 50. And then Athena's Strike, which will do up to 3 enemies with lightning on hit. So the lightning will pretty much chain together, and that's going to do an extra 25% damage. And there we go, that is all of the perks, all of the questline explained for Athena, and how to defeat the Hydra. I hope this has helped. If it has, please go and check out some of my other Fenyx Immortals guides, or maybe it's Immortals Fenyx Rising guides, and I'll be back even more. I'm going to do this showing you how to defeat all of the pretty much bosses from each one of them. I kind of skipped past already doing Achilles. He was pretty tough. I am going to work on that video, but it is the first one that you come across, so I figure you guys have probably already done that by the time you're watching this video. But anyway, until next time, ratbags, laters.